If you had asked me last year about Pokémon Legends games, I would probably give you a very different answer from the one I'd give you today. Yeah, Pokémon Legends Z-A still hasn't come out, but we can already see that comparing it to Pokémon Legends Arceus, the only Legends experience we had, it is very different. To be honest, it's kinda hard to explain what a Pokémon Legends game is or why they look so different from each other, but today that's really what we're trying to do. So, hey, I'm Not So Ace Trainer, and what is a Legends game? Let's get into it. Pokémon was and still kinda is a franchise that has been accused of never changing, never risking anything, never trying anything new. And while I don't agree with this sentiment fully, because Pokémon 100% has tried new things, especially in the last decade, I understand where it comes from. Pokémon has a formula, and because of that, it offers an often predictable experience that very rarely will surprise you. Of course, this applies only to the main series and not the spin-offs. You have all kinds of those, and I even made a video about it a long time ago, but Pokémon really is defined by what the main series does. Us, more hardcore Pokémon fans, get really excited when a new trailer comes out, I won't deny that. All I need to know is, will there be Pokémon and can I catch them? I'll probably be happy with just that, like I'll be happy if you like, subscribe or even join the channel. But still, we kinda also wanna see Pokémon trying something new, and the not so happy fans really want that. Before I continue though, what was Pokémon's change that surprised you the most? Let me know down below. Like I said, Pokémon in the last decade took risks. It risked going to 3D, it risked an open world, it risked taking gyms away from the game, it risked the introduction of power-ups, it risked focusing a lot on online multiplayer, and because of that, I think it isn't fair to say they didn't really risk anything, that they stayed in their lane. But again, despite all of that, the formula was very much still there and still very noticeable. It was like that in every game, except the one game that, despite also being criticized, seemed to unite a lot of the Pokémon fanbase by being heavily praised as well. That game is of course our first Pokémon Legends game, Pokémon Legends Arceus. This game came out when no one expected, announced to the world during a Pokémon Presents where people only expected to see a remake and nothing else. To some, it even saved the Presents itself, as many were not happy with Pokémon Brilliant Diamond and Pokémon Shining Pearl. It offered us something that we had never seen before in the franchise. Its art direction was something completely new, and its gameplay was a complete shift from what we had before in previous titles. The very fabric of how Pokémon and people's relationships had been presented to us since forever had been completely ripped apart. Pokémon are terrifying creatures, Professor Laventon told us. It took us right to the past of the Sinnoh region, one of the most myth-heavy regions in the Pokémon world, not only to learn more about its lore, despite not really answering a lot of questions, but to actually live it in the ancient land of history. There was a huge map to explore, one that was meant to be the whole Sinnoh region that we knew and had explored before, but without the landscape-altering touch of humankind. Yes, there were people there before, there were ruins and ancient texts, but now it was all lost to time and we had to find out about them. We met ancestors of people we knew and met ancestors of people we were only gonna meet in the future. We even saw familiar faces through strange circumstances. We did it all, barrel rolling and running away from angry Pokémon that wanted to take us down. We did it all while catching Pokémon out of battle. This was a feature that everyone wanted, but we never really thought Game Freak would do it. It simply made way too much sense for that. We always believed Game Freak would never do the things that simply made sense, but well, here it was. It was a crazy experience, one that completely changed how we saw Pokémon. It was the start of what we believed a new series. One that took us back in time in the Pokémon region we knew to show us a different side of it while also introducing new gameplay features. They didn't really cross over fully to Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet, so it made sense. It was a completely new way to try something new. But then they introduced Pokémon Legends Z-A. This game is nothing like Pokémon Legends Arceus. Yes, you can catch Pokémon outside of battle as well, but you also can battle without it being turn-based. Yes, you're in a region that you have explored before, but not all of it. You're instead in a city that you've explored before, Lumiose City. Yeah, it's not the same time as the game where you explore the region, but it is also not the past. It seems to kinda be in the present or the very near future. And yeah, you're seeing characters that you've met in the past, but they're not there through weird holes in the sky, they are there because they're alive and well. Also, we're not gonna be seeing any ancestors, at most we'll see some very young descendants. Pokémon Legends Z-A took everything we thought we knew about a Pokémon Legends game and threw it all away in order to build something that stands completely on its own. So what is a Pokémon Legends game? Is that even an answer to that question? Right now, with what we have, I think Pokémon Legends is a cooler way to say Pokémon stories. The idea behind it seems to be to tell us a tale in a setting, whatever they decide it to be. So far, it seems like they're going for Pokémon that never really had the spotlight, like Arceus and Zygarde. But to be fair, every Pokémon has enough lore to have something like what happened in Pokémon Legends Arceus, and every Pokémon has enough potential for something like what's probably gonna happen in Pokémon Legends Z-A. And above all, I think Pokémon Legends games are also ways to connect with the older members of the audience. Yeah, they're pretty chill games as well, but Pokémon Legends Arceus simply had a different feel to it. The battles were harder, they didn't hold your hand as much as in a regular Pokémon game. You had to gather materials, craft your items and go into the wild to basically survive. The same is happening in Pokémon Legends Z-A. They tell you on the website, use the day to gather what you need in order to face the battle zones. It's very possible that every item selling location simply won't be open at night and you have to make do with what you gathered during the day. At first glance, these games feel like they're simply Game Freak's playtesting rounds, where they're testing new mechanics without affecting the main series, but I think they're gonna prove to be much more than that. I actually want to discuss the main series in my next video, but I think the impact that these games will have in the main generation titles will be much more than what we think just now. For a single version title, Pokémon Legends Arceus sold very well, proving that there is an audience waiting for something like this from Pokémon. And I think the same is gonna happen with Pokémon Legends Z-A, the game is looking like a lot of fun. Don't worry, I don't think they are done with creating new regions and new Pokémon, but I think they're looking at what they have already created, and they're thinking, I'm not done with you yet. And to be fair, a new Legends game is better than a new remake, isn't it? Anyway, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my YouTube members Dash Plays and Yahtzee, and Twitch subscriber Anubis here for going that extra mile. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much.